Thank you. You may be seated.
Communications. City Manager.
I've given you your monthly report. You'll be getting those about the 15th of each month for the previous month. And that's all I have right now.
Thanks. David Oken.
No report tonight, Mayor.
Ryan.
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Ryan.
Just so you know, on that monthly report, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me and I can answer those questions for you.
Wendell.
Yes, we just wanted to let you know that we finished the design on the 70th South Phase 1 storm drain line, and we're actually going to be receiving bids on the 8th of December. It'll be before you on the 16th for award of a contract. So we just wanted to let you know that.
Thanks. Chief McElwee.
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thanks.
Chief Diamond.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Councilmember Hanson.
Thank you, Mayor. There's nothing tonight.
Councilmember Haga.
Thanks, Mayor. This week's been kind of a tough week for me. I decided to file a claimant notice. I don't know if you folks know what that is, but against the city, and I haven't had time to get the paperwork, but after talking with one of our contract attorneys and that, I'm going to withdraw that claimant notice on the city and the council members. So that's just a formal announcement. Thanks, Mayor.
Councilmember Nichols.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing tonight.
Councilmember Rice.
Thank you. Since we're doing the election canvass tonight, I just want to say thank you to all those who participated, the candidates and those who researched the candidates and voted. Thank you. That's it.
Darian, did you have anything?
I don't have anything, thank you.
I have one thing. We have to schedule interviews for the 2 planning commission openings, and that has to be done so that it can be in place for the first of the year. So what is the odd week that we don't have council? What's the date of that in December?
It would be the 9th, Wednesday the 9th of December.
I won't be here, but if there are others, that'd be fine.
How is everyone else for that evening?
I won't be able to make this on.
Okay, so you can make it. We'll find out if we have at least 4 that can make it that night.
Okay, well technically,
We can do it with 3.
you can, yeah, you can.
We'll see if we have 3 for that evening. We've got
As long as I guess the rest of them are okay.
we've got 3 right now.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we're good.
Because Arlene does have candidates, it's open until Friday, and so then they can arrange for the schedule and schedule it.
So we'll set December 9th for that.
What time do you want to start?
I can start at any time. 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
6
Okay.
6 okay. Okay,
Okay.
6 o'clock. Okay, we'll move to citizens' comments. I have one signed up to speak. Now would be the time we have no public hearing items tonight, so now would be the time to speak on any issue that concerns you. First we'll have Alexandra Efremo.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Let's meditate for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, may we pause for a moment to reflect upon our common goals before we begin the business of this meeting. We are privileged to gather here together in a system that gives us freedom to participate in our own governance, whether from within or through the strength provided by our personal faiths. We seek wisdom, understanding, fairness, and resolve in the fulfillment of our duties and in the pursuance of our goals. May our differences be respected and our common aspiration of promoting the public good be our guide in carrying out the tasks we are about to undertake. Thank you. Well, here I am again. I'm waiting for the council member to still apologize for the meeting of April 29th when that council member went ahead. She threw a pencil and she was talking out of order. That person also called someone a liar at that time. So I'm still asking for an apology from that council member to the mayor, to the city council, and also to the city of West Jordan, which I am a citizen of West Jordan. So I just want to know, this is a book that you're supposed to read before you come to council meeting. So this particular council member, I've been here since April. Not one time has that council member ever proposed a motion. Not once. And that person also left the meeting, never showed up. Also, October 28th council meeting, that council member, and I object to a council member leaving before one of the biggest things that we discuss as a council is the budget. So this person left before. Again. Leaving again. November 4th. So I would say, a father talks to his daughter who's 20 years old. She's, Dad, you know what? I'd like to join the Army. And Dad looks at her, he says, you know what? Do you think you're going to be able to handle it? So the remark that this council member is accusing another person on the staff of a sexual harassment, that is not true. I talked to my psychologist. He said that is not true. That remark is a very fatherly remark. Plus, council people, you have your own individual districts to answer to, but you also are on the complete council, which means you are supposed to be working for the city of West Jordan. Now let me remind you what this says, because I'll be willing to put a lie detector test on this particular council person, because I do not believe that person is doing the job of a council member. Here's the oath you take. I'm going to remind you. I do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Utah and the laws and ordinances of the city of West Jordan, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. This particular council person is not doing that.
The clock started 45 seconds late. You're well over time.
I have 15 seconds left.
It started 45 seconds late.
It did not. It started at 3 o'clock, council person. I saw it. Don't argue with me, council person. I saw it. It was 3 minutes. Don't do that to me.
It started 45 seconds late. In fact, Councilmember Southworth had to wave them to remind them to start it, and they're nodding in agreement. But we appreciate
Well, I have 15 more
We appreciate
seconds.
your comments.
You're out of time. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilman Nichols.
Anyone else from the public wishing to address the council and citizen, please?
My name is Steve Jones. I live at 3234 West, 6920 South in West Jordan here. When I read the Tribune and I read about the cost to the city that seems to continually happen, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit. Truth be known, this is really one of the reasons why I don't vote for any tax increases when the city comes up, because to me I can see a lot of dollar value that is being wasted. I find it ironic that employees of the city can sue the city, but yet when homeowners have their homes flooded and instances like that happen, they have no recourse whatsoever other than at the mercy of the council. And to me, I find that personally appalling. It just seems to me that, I sit down and run through some numbers. I think of, $1.5 million being paid to individuals for whatever reason, whatever the circumstances. Obviously not part of budgets, and that $1.5 million could have more than made those homeowners that were affected by the flooding whole. So I'm just letting you know that I'm really quite unhappy, and I don't know what else to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, I will close the citizens' comments and move to the consent calendar. I would like consent item B pulled for discussion. Anyone else?
That's B.
B.
Yeah.
B is in boy.
Also.
Motion would be in order.
So moved.
No, you'll have to make the motion to
I'm sorry.
approve all but B, please.
Yes, I make the motion to approve all of the consent items with the exception of number B.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hanson and a second by Councilmember Rice. Discussion to the motion? Seeing none on the floor.
Councilmember Rice?
Aye.
Councilmember Southworth?
Aye.
Mayor Rolfe?
Yes.
Councilmember Nichols?
Yes.
Councilmember Hanson?
Yes.
Councilmember Haga?
Yes.
Vote passes 6-0.
Business item 7A, convene as a board of canvassers and approve resolution 15-210, accepting and approving the official canvass results for the 2015 municipal general election as shown on the canvass report. Melanie Briggs.
Hold on, there's a fly.
Fly.
A fly. Over here. Since I have my wonderful deputy here, I thought I'd come down at the podium, since I usually just sit up on the dais, and I thought, I probably should do this all the time, and I should have. So, as everybody's anxiously been awaiting the results of our canvass, I don't know how many phone calls I've had throughout the day, if I could release them. I just want to make sure and follow the letter of the law, and there's not a question. I received the ballots. I'm getting first, or the total. And I'll go over the totals first and read into the record the official totals of the election. You'll see in the document that I handed out, there's a couple of different documents. So as of the 2015 municipal general election, our official canvass totals are for Council District 1, Christopher M. McConaughey, 1,869. Kevin L. Merton, 1,610. Christopher McConaughey received 53.72%, and Kevin received 46.28%. In West Jordan Council District 2, Dirk Burton with 1,852 votes, which is 52.33%. Judith M. Hanson, 1,687 with 47.67%. West Jordan Council District 3, Zach Jacob, 1,357 for 62.08%. Tim McConaughey, 619 for 28.32%. Mike Kellemeyer, who was an official write-in who declared on September 3rd, 168 for 7.69. And then there were write-ins of 42%. They tabulate them, but they don't count in the numbers. West Jordan Council District 4, Sophie Rice, 1,533 for 51.51% of the vote. Alan R. Anderson, 1,443 for 48.49% of the vote. Therefore, receiving the most ballots for Council District 1, Councilmember-elect will be Christopher M. McConaughey, West Jordan Council District 2, Councilmember-elect will be Dirk Burton. West Jordan Council District 3 will be Zach Jacob. And West Jordan City Council District 4 will be Sophie Rice. Their terms will begin, we'll have our swearing-in ceremony on January 4th of 2016, and they will serve those offices until December 31st of 2019. So now just kind of for informational, for those in the audience and for the council, the City of West Jordan has 40,913 registered voters. There were 12,984 ballots that were counted. They did have 12,412 ballots that were returned. The difference in that is like early voting and provisional ballots and additions to that. They had mail-in ballots that were not counted. There were 113 that were not counted. These are the reasons. There were 33 that were returned unsigned. 43, they did not match the voter record. And I know I've always had a lot of questions. People say, well, how do they know it's actually, they actually verify every signature that's on the affidavit of the voter. So there were 43 of those that were returned because they didn't match. There were 2 that were returned because they were postmarked past November 2nd. Then there were that were returned from past elections, excuse me. There were 33 ballots that were postmarked past November 2nd. Provisional ballots that were voted on election day, there were 19. 17 of them were counted. The additional 2 were not accepted because, what does it say here? Voted an absentee ballot because they'd already voted, so they would be considered voting twice. Therefore, it wouldn't count. So ballots cast on election day, prior to election day, were 11,139. Valid ballots that were processed after the 2nd of November were 1,845. Therefore, those are the ballots that are additional to the unofficial totals from election night on November 3rd. I don't know the exact turnout. I think it's about 32%.
Point of order, Mayor. We're having some disturbance. Mayor.
The City of West Jordan had about 32% voter turnout. That's a good turnout, but I will say I was hoping for a little higher since we received 34% 2 years ago. I was hoping, so we'll do better next year, West Jordan. Does any of the council members have questions regarding the information?
Questions from council?
I am so proud of this lady because since we've been voting by mail, West Jordan results have been only skyrocketing. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. One more thing I did want to say, because I was kind of interested in this, because I am a resident myself. And in District 1, there were 33.6% voter turnout. In District 2, which is where I live, and Jamie lives, and Carol lives, and several other people, we had 38%. In Council District 3, there was 24.9%. In District 4, there was 29.9%. So you can kind of see in the districts in the areas of the city where there's heavier turnout than others. No more questions?
Councilmember Southwood?
No question.
All I need is a motion to approve the resolution and accept the canvas.
Thank you, Mayor. Melanie, nice work.
Thanks.
And Councilmember Hague had it right. It was Melanie's idea for West Jordan to initiate the counting and vote by mail balloting. I supported that measure with a lot of heat. I'm one of those. But it's made a real difference. What I wanted to share is more, rather than a question, is just to share with the public. I had a constituent, and I initially thought it was a complaint, and he said, I had a problem with the ballot. And I said, so tell me about what happened. His process was that he inadvertently, in a rush, signed his wife's ballot and sent it in. And they caught it.
Yep.
It was returned and allowed her the chance to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And so he voted using his correct ballot. Some of us had that fear that maybe he'd get 2 votes that way, but the county actually caught it. And so he was actually, it was a good conversation in which he said, hey, the system actually worked.
That's good. That's good to hear that.
I wanted to share that publicly, and I was going to make a motion, but it looks like somebody might have a comment.
Councilmember Southwood?
I actually do. I have a counterpoint to that, and I want to rain on your parade, but I think that vote by mail does increase it. I mean, there's no doubt it increases it, but you also have to look at the last election, it was vote by mail. It wasn't across the board. There were cities that were not vote by mail, and they had higher turnout than we actually did. And so you can't quite, now the difference is, I think the big indicator, there's a $500 million bond from the Georgia School District on the ballot. This time around, you had a transportation tax increase. And so I think there's still a lot of apathy out there. This isn't the silver bullet. This doesn't heal, this doesn't bring people out. Like, if you're going to vote, you're probably going to vote. It makes it easier, and people do come out and vote in higher percentages. But vote by mail isn't the end-all, be-all. There's more work to be done there. We need more elections without big tax increases on it to really get a good understanding of what vote by mail really does, how much of an increase. I think it's kind of a fallacy to say that we got up to 30% because it was vote by mail. Nah, $500 million bonds tend to do that. Transportation taxes tend to do that sort of thing as well. So we'll be cautious. We're optimistic, but be cautiously optimistic.
Can I put one more comment in before you make a motion? As the mayor is aware and some of the other council members, I'm glad you're all sitting down. I've kind of been frustrated this election with the county. And even I feel bad for the candidates when you have 1,800 ballots that are still outstanding after Election Day. That was a lot of ballots. I remember two years ago for the mayor and the 2 at-large seats, I think we had 300. So for 1,800, that's a lot of ballots to be out there and not knowing what the results are going to be. So I did have frustrations with the county, but I will also say the machines, I don't know how much you've heard, don't work, and I won't be surprised if the state legislature changes the law to where it's kind of the way we go unless we do it online or somewhere else. I don't know. So just wanted to add that information.
Councilmember Nichols.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve Resolution 15-210, and that will certify the election results and approve the canvass.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Nichols and a second by Councilmember Hanson. Discussion? Let's go.
Councilmember Haga?
Yes.
Councilmember Rice?
Aye.
Councilmember Southworth?
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols?
Yes.
Mayor Rolfe?
Yes.
Councilmember Hanson?
Yes.
Vote passes 7-0.
Thank you very much, council.
Business item 7B, reconsideration of resolution 15-200, authorizing the mayor to execute amendment number 4 to the professional service agreement with Stanley Consultants, Inc. for a secondary water pipeline design along 70th South from South Valley Reclamation Facility to Bangor Highway, not to exceed $141,568. Councilmember Haga.
Thanks, Mayor. This was on a consent item last council meeting, and I actually pulled it, wasn't able to express my vote in a proper way. My only concern with this, is past councils have made mistakes, without pointing fingers or anything like that as far as secondary water, which has cost us hundreds.
Mayor, point of order, I think we have to vote to reconsider before we have discussion on the topic and the item. Is that not the proper?
I don't.
I believe we need to have that motion first. No, sorry to cut you off, Councilman, we need to follow that process.
Okay, you want to make a motion to reconsider?
I still want to explain why I brought it back for reconsideration.
But you have to have it reconsidered.
I'd have to turn over to our city attorney, is that correct, in parliamentary procedure?
Yes. The item was brought back in order to do a motion to reconsider, and so in order to reconsider it, you need to have that motion.
Okay, I move that we reconsider item 15-200.
I will second for discussion.
Call the question.
Second.
So what
the question has been called, and we need a vote on call the question.
Point of order, Mayor. I have the right to speak and they're cutting me off.
No, the question has been called and we need to hold a vote.
I'd like to make a substitute motion that we could reconsider this reconsideration 15-200. Huh?
I believe we have to vote on the point of,
Yes, we still have to vote on the point of order. Let's vote.
Can that be a voice vote?
No, we'll have it, a roll call vote.
roll call.
Councilmember Hanson,
No.
This is, to clarify, this is a vote on calling the question.
On calling questions, okay, yes, yes.
Councilmember Haga,
I need to understand the motion. If you repeat that to me.
The question's been called,
Which is?
which is to vote on the
Reconsideration.
reconsideration.
So I got to clarify this. So this has gone convoluted on us. So because I vote as a proponent of the item last time, I was able to bring this back as a point of reconsideration. Now I'm being forced not to be able to speak about that. But what is there any legal issue on that, Darian?
I'm reading as fast as I
Would you
can.
please read the council rules to us concerning reconsideration? I need a point of order here. I have the right to ask for point of order.
Councilman Hague, I can help you. It's parliamentary procedure. Calling a question is call a question. It's pretty simple.
And when a vote is taking place, a deliberation
I'm
ceases.
asking for point of order on reconsideration and
He's asking for a legal opinion.
I'm still looking for the call the question rule.
While she's looking, question to the clerk, Mayor, if I may.
Let me just try this. I believe that I'm not the attorney, and I believe that it's clear in the parliamentary procedure and the council handbook that when a question is called and seconded, then it requires a vote of the council to see if the question is called. I'm not the attorney.
Mayor?
Mayor, out of respect, I'll continue ahead. Go ahead, Ben.
Okay, you need to vote. If you're going to continue.
I'll follow the chair's advice.
It's your vote.
It's your vote, yes or no?
No, I'm sorry.
Mayor Rolfe,
No.
Councilmember Southworth,
Aye.
Councilmember Rice,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Yes.
Vote passes 4-2.
Item 7B will not be reconsidered. Item 7C, reconsidering, we need a motion to reconsider.
Actually, Mayor, if I could, for the clerk, that was just to call the question, so now we have to vote on, I think it's Councilman Haga's motion to.
To reconsider.
To reconsider, I believe.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, I thought that's what the question
No,
was called.
no, the question was to
The
stop.
question was to limit debate, so that stops all debate, and then we go directly to a vote, so at that point.
So now we're actually voting on.
Now we're voting
or
on 7B.
To reconsider the actual item. Correct?
I'd like to make a substitute motion, though, Mayor, that we go back to reconsider 15200.
That's what this motion is.
That's the motion.
That's what this motion is.
Yes.
That's the motion on the table. Let's vote.
Councilmember Southworth,
No.
Councilmember Hanson,
No.
Councilmember Rice,
No.
Councilmember Haga,
No.
Councilmember Nichols,
No.
Mayor Roth.
Yes?
Vote fails 6-1. Excuse me, 5-1.
7C, reconsideration of ordinance 15-32, amending the 2009 West Jordan Municipal Code 13-5B-7 to allow swine in rural residential zones, subject to the limitations of the animal point system, citywide applicability, City of West Jordan applicant. Councilmember Hagan. Again, you have to ask a motion to reconsider.
I think Mayor, I'm going to object to even moving forward because I believe I'm being retaliated against tonight for bringing back two issues that I was unable to vote on last time. So I'll just move forward.
Are you pulling the item or tabling the item?
I'm not doing anything.
Mayor,
Councilmember Southwood.
I move to deny reconsideration of ordinance 15-32.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Southworth and a second by Councilmember Nichols. Discussion of the motion.
Mayor.
Councilmember Haga.
Thanks. So I brought this back to council because
Mayor, call
there's
the
a lot of
question.
things that we need to understand.
Second.
He has the floor.
I have debate.
He has the floor.
I don't know why you're trying to cut me off. So this has created a lot of controversy in our city. One of them is the fact that we're possibly going to allow swine in our backyards. And I've done a lot of studying on this, and a couple of things, you know, have we considered how the swine are going to be kept? Do we know how many feet they require to be kept? What are we going to do when it comes to the waste of the swine? Average 200-pound swine.
Point of order, Mayor, are we debating it, or are we, again, it's the same thing we had before.
1.8.
It's a reconsideration, we're not debating
Point of order,
the item
Mayor.
yet.
He's
He
cutting
has
me
the
off
floor.
again.
So I think this is, as a point of order, this is out of order. We are not debating the item, we are actually reconsidering. It's a consideration, reconsideration, so this is highly out of order. It is out of order.
You're out of order, really. So I'll continue.
Follow the
Thank you,
rules.
Mayor.
Just a second. You, point of order?
Yes, sir, point of order.
Point of order.
And the point of order is, this is a question of reconsideration. The motion is to deny it. This is not the venue or the time. Based on this vote that will take place, will tell us whether or not we can reconsider it. The councilman is now trying to go into that reconsideration, which is inappropriate at this moment in time. Now, it will be appropriate if we pass reconsideration.
And my point of order, Mayor, if I can
Wait a minute. We
respond.
have a point of order. Second, did you say? We have a point of order, a motion by Councilmember Southworth and second by Councilmember Nichols. Discussion. Seeing none, let's vote.
Councilmember Rice,
Point of clarification, we're voting on reconsideration?
Simply not.
Okay.
Point of
Do
order.
you want me to
Deny
clarify?
reconsideration, okay.
And I have to ask, does a point of order require a vote? I know a motion to call, or a request to call the question requires a vote. I don't know that a point of order, it's a votable
Well, you did
item.
My
Is it?
understanding.
You called the question, and I seconded it.
Now,
Well, I think you called point of order.
well, I just said a point of order because the discussion was taking place was out of order. Now, I could call the question, but I don't think we need to. We can just have a vote on the motion, which is on the table, and then we could proceed with that. And the motion is, again, I made the motion, was to deny the request for reconsideration of ordinance 15-32. So that would probably be the most appropriate thing at this point to go to vote.
Are we okay with that?
Did we have a call the question and a second?
You did not recognize, I have to be recognized by the chair to even call the question, and you did not recognize me. You correctly said that Councilman Haga had the floor at the point, so that was, I wasn't recognized.
Eagle opinion on this. So since I'm the applicant and counsel, what authority would I have to even talk about this item?
Unless the council allows it.
Since I'm the applicant putting this on the agenda, I have no way to discuss something I put on the agenda. They're cutting off debate.
I believe that if an item were going to be presented by staff, that would be a presentation. Debate only occurs when, within the rules of procedure, it's allowed. Does that answer the question? Typically for debate, you would require a motion and a second, and then debate would occur.
So as an applicant on an agenda item, I have no verbal, anything I can say.
Please, City Manager.
Mayor, as I understand it, you're asking the council to reconsider it, and so there's a vote that comes before anything else, even any discussion. If they say we're not going to consider it, then that's it, there's no more discussion.
Okay, now I just got to be clear. Is Councilmember Southworth asked for non-reconsideration? Is that?
Yes.
Right, you
To
have to deny
the request.
the requests.
And we had a second by Councilmember Nichols. Let's vote.
What a shame that we're cutting off dialogue with something that affects the city so much as having swine in our backyard. What a tragedy.
Let's vote.
Councilmember Hager?
Yes.
Councilmember Rice?
Yes.
Councilmember McConaughey? Excuse me, Councilmember Southworth?
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols?
Yes.
Mayor Rawl?
No.
Councilmember Hanson?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-1.
Consent item 6B, approved resolution 15-205, authorizing the mayor to execute the cable television franchise agreement between the city of West Jordan and Comcast of California, Massachusetts, Michigan, Utah Incorporated.
Call the question.
There hasn't been a
Mayor,
motion yet.
point of order, there's no yeah, sorry, you just said it.
I pulled this item and I support signing the franchise agreement. I just needed some clarification on if the city has a contact person that is directed to West Jordan City, because I've seen a lot of problems with this franchise agreement in my professional career outside of the city, where they haven't been responsive to West Jordan City as part of their franchise agreement in our streets and above the ground. So I just wanted to clarify if we have a point of contact before this contract is signed, because it's impacted our utilities at great cost to the city because they have not been responsive in the past. So I don't know, I'm putting you on the spot, but I didn't want to sign this. I wanted the council to weigh in on this before I support the franchise agreement, other than it seems like we can never get contact.
We actually have a representative from Comcast here today.
Okay.
His name is Steve Proper. I'm assuming he would be able to answer that question for you if you would
Would it be
allow
okay
him
if
to do
we
that.
allowed him to speak on this issue, because it's been a big point of contention in the past? Would that be okay? Anyone opposed to doing that? Please.
Yes, hello, my name is Steve Proper, I'm with Comcast. We also have another gentleman that's been working on this franchise renewal, Kirk Nord. Kirk will be the ultimate point of contact. We had to split double duty today, or tonight, to cover a council meeting down in Provo, and Kirk is actually turning off the highway right now to come. So, long story short, we're happy to provide you that contact. We've always had a contact. I've been here for 20 years. We've had a lot of presence in this community for that time. This is a renewal of the franchise that we've had, so happy to address any concerns that you might have. So
you've given a point of contact for Comcast to the city?
Yeah. Darian has Kirk's name and number. They've been in contact with regards to this renewal. That's Kirk's job is to oversee our franchises in our communities. Now, he doesn't do the construction work, obviously, but he's our initial point of contact. I would imagine the engineering department and others also have some of our contacts that work with our engineers and construction department, if that's in fact what the issue is. On the finance side, if there's questions with regards to the franchise fee payments, again, Kirk can help us and look at our finance people to address any issues that might be.
This was construction related that I'm speaking of.
Okay.
And he'd still be the point of contact?
Sure, that's an initial point of contact. Again, we have engineering and construction teams that work. So, yeah, and they typically have contacts with the local cities as well.
Okay. Councilmember Haga?
Yeah, I'm actually a fan of Comcast, so one thing I was reading in the contract that I wanted to bring up is the fact that we would be offered, can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We would be offered a channel for our newsletter and things that we are doing in our city.
That's right.
I'm wondering now, we have a new city manager, and if perhaps maybe we can exercise that offer you've given us and start doing some positive promos with Comcast.
Yeah, that's a common feature in these franchises is a city access channel where typically it covers the government and education type programming ranging from council meetings to work study sessions to other things. So yeah, it's a channel we provide. A lot of the communities in and throughout the valley utilize that service, and then your channel is seen in your community, and that's how that works.
Councilmember Hanson.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the same concerns as the mayor on the construction-wise. I have had some of my constituents call me, along with my son, who does have Comcast and enjoy it, but sometimes they lay the cable across, like my son's driveway. It sit there for 2 weeks. They didn't bury it. They just laid it across his driveway. It took, I don't know how many calls for them to come and bury that cable.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's certainly not our general practice.
That's my problem
Sure.
as a construction. Make sure that's done right.
But you've had a point of contact, and you have one now, certainly, and not just myself, but Kirk as well. So happy to help any way we can.
Okay, thank you.
We provide the service throughout about 120 communities here in Utah, so we're used to working with the communities, but we hold the franchises in.
Just to be clear, I wasn't being critical of Comcast. We enjoy the relationship. The problem has been in the past, since you exist in our city streets as part of this franchise agreement, and sometimes we come in conflict with your lines and our pipelines, seem like we haven't had the response time as the other utilities. So if we have a point of contact, I'm
Happy to.
happy moving forward with this.
Happy to help and answer any of the questions you might have with regards to the renewal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, I would move to approve item 6E in its entirety.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Rolfe and a second by Councilmember Southworth. Discussion of the motion? Seeing none, let's vote.
Councilmember Hanson,
Yes.
Councilmember Haga,
Yes.
Mayor Rolfe,
Yes.
Councilmember Southworth,
Aye.
Councilmember Rice,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Yes.
Vote passes 6-0.